Thank you for joining us. The need to promote a better understanding of the challenges facing Israel and Jewish life today is greater than ever. A land of great achievements and history, turning barren land into fertile green fields and making the desert bloom. Israel is also a world leader in high-tech research and industry, in medicine, education, culture, the arts, and so much more. One of the most respected experts on this is an Israeli historian, author, politician, and former ambassador to the United States, Michael Oren. He's now a member of the Knesset and is a deputy minister for diplomacy in the Prime Minister's office, and he'll join us following these messages.
Life Extension Foundation was established in 1977 and is now the world's largest consumer-based anti-aging organization. Life-saving achievements taken for granted today were pioneered by Life Extension Foundation decades ago. Life Extension is currently funding $10 million a year in research on significantly extending a healthy human lifespan. Diseases that once plagued humanity have largely been eradicated by scientific innovation. 3 leading causes of death in 1900 are no longer leading killers today. Smallpox killed millions before it was eliminated in 1979. Life Extension funds research to fight biological aging so that it also will become a relic of the past. To learn more, log on to lifeextensionfoundation.org.
Anywhere else, this would be a vacation on the Mediterranean. But here, it's also a journey into history. From modern Tel Aviv to the ancient cities of Herod, the Romans, the Crusaders. The history of Israel lives in all of us. Come find the Israel in you.
Find magic again. Sprout by HP. With Intel RealSense technology inside, now you can bend the rules of creativity outside.
With us now is Ambassador Michael Oren. Sir, an honor and privilege to meet you.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here, Richard. Thank you.
We're experiencing interesting times in history, and I apologize to the audience if there's noise in the background. We are this FIDF event, and again, a privilege. But interesting times, sir.
It's always interesting times for the State of Israel, but these are very also promising times for the State of Israel. Not just in terms of our economy, which is one of the fastest growing and healthiest economies in the world, our innovation, our high tech, but I'm dealing with foreign policy, and I will tell you unreservedly that Israel's foreign relations are at a stronger point today than any time in the last almost 69 years of our existence.
Baruch Hashem, I would say.
Yom Yom.
I must say that some people describe you correctly, in my opinion, as a hero of Israel. You were there on the battlefield. You have served Israel in the diplomatic arena. But to my great disgust, some people have had the outrageous chutzpah to criticize you.
Oh, it's perfectly fine. I wouldn't be taken seriously if I wasn't criticized.
I read an article by Rabbi Shmuley, who was outraged by some of the things you were subjected to. But let's talk about positives. How do you see the future
of Israel? I see Israel very, first of all, realistically. Israel is, we exist in the most hostile neighborhood in the planet, certainly the most violent neighborhood in the planet. On the other hand, as someone who studied history, I was a historian for many years before I became a diplomat and now a member of the government, you look back where Israel was in 1973 and 1967, certainly in 1948, and it's hard to conclude other than that Israel is a miracle, that we have created one of the most powerful countries in the world by any parameter. By the way, that we are here to support the Israeli defense forces, which are today more than twice as large as the British and French armies combined. For example, a country which has revived the Hebrew language. More people speak Hebrew today than speak Danish, Finnish, or Swedish. Can you believe this? And a country which is a significant player on the world stage. And I'm operating on that stage, and I'll tell you, we're quite significant.
Why is Israel subjected to so much one-sided criticism, so many lies by omission? Is it a new kind of anti-Semitism, in your view? In
many cases it is. And Jews, throughout our existence as a people, for over 3,000 years, we've been subjected to that type of criticism. There is envy of our success as a country. I mean, we brought Jewish refugees from 70 different countries. We put them into a country that was the size of a fingernail clipping. We had no natural resources. We were surrounded by adversaries. We never knew a minute of peace. And look what we created. Look what we created. Now, people just look at that and they're envious. I know that for a fact. I know that countries that had many opportunities than we had, many more advantages, have not been able to reach our level of development, and they're envious.
From exporting oranges and flowers to high tech.
To high tech. And Israel is listed as the second most innovative country in the world after Switzerland. I'm not quite sure what they developed. It's probably high-tech chocolate or clocks, but we certainly have more startups per capita than any country in the world. In absolute terms, more than all of Western Europe. There are 300 international high-tech companies that have their research and development centers in Israel. 200 of them are American, by the way. Apple, which never had a development center outside of the state of California, has 3 in the state of Israel. And that's extraordinary. Right now, Israel's automotive industry receives about 200 times more investment than the British automotive industry, though we don't make a car. You know what we make, Richard? We make the technology that will enable you to go in your car but not have to drive it, because we make the driverless car.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
A question I have to ask you is this, about the Obama administration, the 8 years of Hillary involved in government there, and what you have been subjected to as Israel's ambassador, striving for Israel always. How do you see the difference between the previous administration and the current one?
I want to start off by saying that Israel and support for Israel is a bipartisan issue in the United States. It's traditionally been one of the few issues about which Republicans and Democrats could agree. But political polarization became very deep during the Obama period. It continues to be, it remains very deep, and it is a challenge for the state of Israel to maintain that bipartisan support. Specifically, though the Obama administration supported Israel on security issues and indeed concluded by signing a 10-year military aid package, which is the largest military aid package which the United States has signed with any foreign power. Almost $40 billion the United States is going to give Israel over the next 10 years. That agreement was signed by President Obama. We had significant differences on peace process issues and, of course, on the Iran nuclear deal, the biggest difference of all. And my hope is now with the new Trump administration that we will be able to approach the issue of our relationship with the Palestinians through more creative and flexible ways, and ways that more reflect the realities in which we exist in the Middle East. Because the previous administration was ideologically very rigid in that way. And on the Iran deal, a much stronger position on Iran. Toward the end of the Obama administration, Iran acted with impunity not just against Israel, but against the United States, taking American sailors hostage, American journalists hostage, flagrantly violating UN restrictions on missile development and testing. I don't think that's going to happen again. And then we will begin to address the long-term challenge that this nuclear deal with Iran will expire in about a decade. Very high probability that the regime in power today in Iran will be the regime in power then, and that regime in 10 years will have the ability to make not one nuclear weapon, but many dozens of nuclear weapons, very swiftly and legally. And that is an intolerable situation for the State of Israel. We have to begin to deal with it now.
So much more could be achieved in cooperation and peace. Israel could contribute to its neighbors as it has tried so many times. What a shame that they just don't recognize Israel's right to exist and make peace intelligently and come to the negotiating table.
I think, Richard, today that among many of our neighbors, the Sunni Arab neighbors, there's a recognition that Israel is not an enemy, that Israel is actually an ally. Certainly in facing Iran or ISIS or Hamas, the Muslim Brotherhood, and that if we can make some progress on the Palestinian issue, I'm not talking about a major peace issue, but progress, I think you'll see a further thawing of our relationship between Israel and Sunni Arab states, particularly the states of the Gulf. And yes, they have a lot to learn from us, and we can do some very good business together.
Well, all we can do is hope for the very best. Deputy Minister, it's been a real privilege and an honor. Thank you so very much for being with us.
We'll now continue with the following report from Israel.
I'm an officer in the intelligence field. I'm based on the border near Egypt.
I'm the commander of the CAC and responsible of the radar systems in Eilat area in the Navy.
I am a commander in Iron Dome Battery in the north of Israel.
I'm a fighter navigator and fly on the F-16D.
Ever since I was a kid, I wanted to be a combat soldier. I think it's the best job for me.
When my big sister got into the Navy, I saw her and knew that's what I wanted to do.
Both of my parents served in the Israeli Defense Force. My mother served over 25 years, and she actually retired 3 days after I began my military service. At the age of 17, we had a flight over Israel, and I fell in love with the airplane, and then I decided to be a pilot.
I come from Peru. I am a lone soldier. Lone soldier is someone that family is not here in the Israel. It's hard. I miss my family.
In my job, when you face something in the field, it doesn't matter if you're a woman or a man. We do the same job.
It is amazing that 20 years ago there wasn't even one female pilot, but today we have dozens. We do the same missions, we do the same training.
The Israeli Navy gives an equal opportunities to male and women. I have 70 soldiers and 6 officers under my responsibility.
I'm proud to be an officer in IDF, to be here to protect my country, our country, to protect Jews in the world.
I'm very proud to serve in the Iron Dome Battery because I know that with us, Israel is more protected.
I am very proud to be a fighter navigator in the Israeli Air Force. I know that what we do is very important and necessary for the safety of Israel and the Jews around the world.
I think that serve and protect Israel is both a duty and a privilege. It's amazing to get up every morning and know that this people is here, live their life because of you. Makes me happy.
We're all aware of the support and the help that Friends of IDF do for us, the soldiers, during the service and even after that.
Last year, I got the opportunity to be part of a mission from Holocaust to independence with the FIDF. To be on those lands, officers from the IDF, with supporters of the IDF, to know that these people appreciate you and loves you, and they don't even know you. To be there with them, it gives meaning to what we do.
It is very nice to know that people from Miami, which is very far from here, think about us and care about us.
FIDF Miami, in my words, amo todo lo que hacen por nosotros los soldados.
Knowing that people in Miami appreciate what you do as a woman gives you power to continue what you do even if it's not that easy.
I'm already 7 years in the Army, and my future plans are to stay in the Army, because I really believe that what we do, it's the most important thing to do, and that is to make sure that Israel is safe.
By our standing and marching here today, we commit to preserve the memory of the Holocaust. We will not forget, nor will we allow it to be forgotten, and we will surely never ever stand unready to defend ourselves.
We have today our country, the homeland of the Jews. We have today our protector, the IDF. It will not happen again.
For me to be here as a commander in the Israeli Defense Forces, a Jewish soldier, a protector for the Jewish people all around the world, it means that we're doing the right thing, and we should keep on doing that for years to come.
Our being here is the answer to the Holocaust. Our being here as Jews, our being here as Israelis, our being here as soldiers, the people who support our soldiers, that's why we're here. And that's the best we can do.
We solemnly swear to protect the State of Israel, to be the shield of Jewish people around the world, with all our powers, all our might, guarded by our core IDF values and Jewish values, for our families, for our children, for our future.
I'm unbelievably impressed with the esprit de corps and the camaraderie and the dedication and the sincerity of this group and the people that are known as the Friends of Israeli Defense.
Every one of you have added your links to this chain, and let's keep on adding those links as we go back to our country.
Today, we are Israel. We are not tourists in Israel today. Today, we are Yisrael. And we're honored to be here.
With us now is Major General Mickey Edelstein. It's a real pleasure and privilege to have you with us today. We are here in America celebrating the FIDF, and I'd like from your perspective for you to tell our audience how you see the importance of this organization.
Well, I think that this organization is a very important activity, both socially speaking and practically speaking, for the young soldier who serve in the IDF, because this organization support the soldier and their activities, also the operational ones, but not only this, also just to give them the right infrastructure while they are in their homes and etc. to support their being, basically. And I think it's a great and important relationship between the IDF and the Jewish and Israeli community worldwide speaking. I think that without the support of this organization, it will be pretty difficult for us to have all the necessities for the young soldiers. And I think what the way that the people here in the States are supporting the soldiers is very, very good. I say it all the time to my family. It's a great demonstration of what does it mean to support from your heart.
From the heart, so much needed in this world. Sir, if I may ask you this, you're currently active with the IDF, the Israel Defense Forces. Are you permitted to share with our audience what you're doing when you're not assisting the FIDF here in the United States?
Yes, well, I'm the defense attaché and I'm stationed in Washington, D.C. I represent all the defense issue of the State of Israel towards the U.S. agencies and administration, both. And currently now we are just establishing the relationship with the new administration. It looks very, very good up to now. And we are looking forward. The US is a very important ally for the state of Israel, strategically speaking, operationally speaking. And we have a very good cooperation, and I think that we are going to deepen it a lot with the coming administration.
Sir, I asked Minister Oren a little while ago how he sees the future of the relationship between the United States and Israel. Are you permitted to share your thoughts on that?
I will speak from the defense point of view. The politicals, I'm out of the political issues. But from the defense point of view, I think that today we have much more common interest, because the US is fighting, is leading the coalition worldwide speaking against the ISIS, against the Al-Qaeda, and the state of Israel with its agencies support this effort, support this coalition. And also the US forces worldwide speaking are supporting our efforts against our adversaries, which some of them are common adversaries like Iran, and Iran's proxies like the Lebanese Hezbollah, Hamas and others. Therefore, I represent our interests in front of the US administration and Department of Defense. And I think it's a great, very important dialogue, very fruitful one.
A question that many people would like to hear an answer to is, thank God, throughout the unfortunate conflict Israel has endured in the Middle East, Israel always had an advantage of greater dedication, better morale, greater technology. But is technology changing so that even uneducated, some people would like to describe them as savage enemies, can just simply operate weapons without any education that can harm Israelis? Is the qualitative edge Israel has, the advantage, is it diminishing?
I don't think it's diminishing, the qualitative advantage, technological speaking. But first, I think that the most important thing is the advantage that we had speaking about people. The way that people are acting by moral, by our values. This is very, very important, the way we act worldwide against different adversaries. But speaking about the technological one, I think that you're right, it's more challenging now than what it used to be. Because today, with the information revolution basically that you have, people can acquire in an easy way different capabilities. Just speaking, to buy a drone, a Chinese drone, and to deliver a terror attack. Therefore, the challenge is bigger, is complex than what it used to be. So, but Israel basically invests a lot in technological, in cyber, in many parts of the defense issues, speaking about technology from the technology point of view. So I think that for now we have the right qualitative advantage. We should address this issue all the time. And I think that we are working also with great cooperation with the US agencies.
So before we conclude, give our audience a final message.
I would like to thank you people, the Jewish, the Israeli community here in the States, for your support in good time, in bad time. I think that this is very important for all of us as a community, as a Jewish community, worldwide speaking, and also as a demonstration for the world that we can achieve much more through cooperation and understanding, and to be a demonstration for the worldwide how communities should act.
Sir, a real pleasure. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
And an honor.
Human age reversal. We may be there already. Human studies are now ready to begin to confirm meaningful reversal of pathological aging processes. These clinical trials aim to alter older humans so that they function as much younger individuals. Even modest success will result in a paradigm shift that will impart enormous societal benefits, such as sparing Medicare from insolvency. Life extension is not standing idle while 5,000 Americans die each day from age-related illnesses. Joining us are physician scientists who want to hurry up these technologies to keep people from aging to death. While life extension is pushing these projects forward, we need financial help to ensure these studies are carried through to fruition. You can support this research by making a tax-deductible donation to Life Extension Society. All donations will be used to fund age reversal research. Join us on this essential mission.
This concludes our special show on Israel and the FIDF. Thank you for being with us.